You what?
I don't want to be shown without my makeup done first.
It's makeup tutorial, so you're gonna have no makeup on before we start.
That is true.
Because we're here to talk about Beautycounter. I'm here with Julie. I'm gonna do your eyebrows a little bit while we chat. Because segue, this is Julie, one of my best friends. She's the one that saved me during my labor because she's so knowledgeable with aromatherapy.
Essential.
Even if it was just a placebo effect.
No, it's not a placebo effect. Plants actually do work. Mother Nature gave them to us for a reason.
You love natural, right, Julie?
Yes, I love natural.
Is that what got you into Beautycounter?
That's exactly what got me into Beautycounter. Especially as a registered holistic nutritionist, I'm always looking for ways to bring clean products into clients' homes.
And yourself even, because you said you started using it and you saw a huge change.
Definitely. I never had major health issues, but of course things like acne, skin irritations, a lot of hormonal imbalances actually. I do suffer from irritability sometimes and frustration when it doesn't. But what people don't realize is that these things we experience is the body's way of communicating with us that there's an imbalance within. And so I started looking at the types of food I eat and the products I put on my skin.
As natural remedies.
Yes, exactly. And that harmful ingredients, that really contributes to toxic load in the body, and it can throw off hormones, it can cause behavioral issues, nervous system issues.
Are we talking about like parabens and other additives to makeup? What kind of
Definitely,
ingredients
but behind all of those, I mean, people, especially when it comes to makeup, skincare, or any cleaning or household products, people know the common denominators, things like parabens and different types of harmful ingredients. But the reality is behind those ingredients are heavy metals, so things like iron, copper, mercury, aluminum, all of these different types of heavy metals that when they are in high volumes within the body, they can put stress on your nervous system. So I look for any area where I can try to reduce it, and Beautycounter is one of those ways.
You brought a lot of your own things, which is why I'm going to be testing them out today, and we're going to be talking through the application because I really wanted to see what they could do. I was really curious. You shared with me a lot of the product samples so far, and the makeup and the cosmetic line was something that I was really interested in using. We were getting a really nice amount of coverage, but the luminosity and the healthiness that it
Absolutely
is looking like on the skin is what I'm really
That's
impressed
exactly what I noticed. So I sometimes do use my hands. That's probably a no-no when applying makeup.
No,
but
not true, as long as they're clean hands.
Right, of course.
So this is the concealer pen. Have you been using this in combination with the
Yes,
foundation?
exactly. So days where I want a little bit more coverage.
This is in the shade
Light.
Light.
Right. So I figured usually you should do a
that's
concealer in a lighter color. Is that true? Is it better that way?
Well, think about how you're going to be using it. If you're using it mostly for brightening around the eyes, then yes, you can be lifting the tone so that you can get more well-rested effect. But if you're going to be bringing the pen into like face blemishes and stuff, I would just, if you have a lighter shade that might not blend into the foundation, maybe just tap it into whatever's left over in your foundation so you can bring down that shade a little bit, still get that extra coverage from the concealer pen, but it will blend into the foundation even better. And if you have one that's stubborn, like a lot of redness, leaving the concealer on for a moment to start setting on its own is the best thing that you can do instead of blending it out
right away
immediately.
And so what I brought today is Beautycounter's Flawless in 5. So it's 6 of their makeup products that is designed to provide effortless beauty in 5 minutes. In a lot of the products you get a choice. So you get a choice of either the tinted moisturizer or the skin twin foundation.
Which I would recommend because look at this glow.
Right. I love the skin twin. I mean, I do have the tinted moisturizer as well, and I use that for days where it's obvious I'm not wearing makeup, but I want to balance my complexion. It comes with a choice of the eyebrow gel, which I have today, or it comes with the eyebrow liner. It comes with a mascara, either volumizing or lengthening. It comes with the concealer pen. It comes with the blush, and it comes with the lip gloss.
Right. So complexion is covered. Mascara, lip gloss, eyebrows.
Right. Choose from. That's the eyebrow gel. So you can get it in a color or in clear. Yeah, so I think I have the dark brown, I believe.
Right.
But it's taught me to use some of these products, and I was able to use the microblading that faded as a guideline.
Right.
So it's been really great practice.
That is good because it's given you like the shape to follow it.
Right.
Technically a brow gel like this that has this holding power to it, because there is a really nice kind of pomade effect. It places your hair in all of the sparse spots for you, plus deposits some color, and then you don't have to fill in with a pencil. For the most part, this could be enough for a lot of people.
Right, I don't fill in with a pencil. Just using the brush is enough for me.
This is a pretty
That's
blush.
a nectar, yeah. So that one, I find for the summer months, I like to use more of a peach color.
Yes, a youthful kind of glow. This is a nice natural color. It looks like you were just like out in the sun. This is a beautiful highlight. So this one's called Halo.
Yes.
But what's nice about this is the iridescence of it is so soft focus. It looks almost blurring, and it's not too warm or too cool. It just adds like a spotlight of dimension to the high points of the cheekbone. This you could double as an eyeshadow if it's what you had. Like you can use this for highlighting the inner corner and just the brow bone if you are in a bind and you just wanted to add something to your eyes, which is what I would recommend.
My suggestion absolutely would be if anyone was interested in the Flawless in 5 collection to add on the highlighter rather than an eyeshadow palette, because the highlighter it's just so versatile.
This you would use.
Right.
For juice break.
I have Marine Dream, which I love. It has spirulina and lemon, but it's a very, very rich antioxidant. It has so many minerals and nutrients within it. A lot of vitamins, vitamin A, B vitamins. It's full of omega 3 and 6, which a lot of people don't get through their diet. So these are really, really healthy essential fatty acids. So it's really good for balancing cholesterol, blood sugar levels, getting rid of inflammation. So if you have allergies, it's really good. It's really good for cleansing.
Amazing. Wow, this
It's
color
just
idea, so sweet. I actually love these applicators that have a little hole in the center because it retains products. You don't have to scoop up multiple times. That's enough for one lip application. So this is a beautiful neutral palette. This is something that's right up your alley, Julie.
I love how it has colors for day and night. I tend to use more of the nudes during the day, but I love those deep mauves and the pinks also.
I love that it has mattes and shimmer.
It has.
I would do Brulee too for day because it's the most soft, natural colors. It's like what we would call a transition shade where you could use it for adding increased definition or just defining the eyes in general. But this you can use as an all-over lid shade, which is what we're going to do. And it just will kind of eliminate any of those little areas with veins or depth and just make it an even color. So I'll just do it, I'll wash it all over the entire lid with a fluffy brush, both sides. And we already used that Halo highlighter shade on your brow bone and a little bit in the inner corner, but for those who want a little bit of a brightness or a pop on the lid, then you can go into a shade that's like one tone up, like Candlelight, and you can just tap it on the center. That's actually a really pretty color to be used in the inner corner too. I'll use the Brulee shade on the lower lash line. Oh, let's do like that purpley tone again. Just on the outer corner, just to give us a lift of color so it's not just all neutral. Just a wash. And I love these tones of purple, like the lavender purple for day. I'm gonna go into that smolder color. And I'll just tap it on I'm just what we call it, I'll push line it, so it's just gonna go so straight between your lashes and not really do much in the way of changing the shape, but more so just making your lashes look a little bit fuller.
Also, for anybody who does choose to shop online, another thing I love about Beautycounter is their Band of Beauty program. So if you're somebody who is going to start transitioning all of your toxic skincare and makeup to a more natural line, then you can do that slowly. You don't have to do it all in one shot. But with the Band of Beauty program, you'll receive a lot of perks and advantages. So things like free shipping, you'll get 10% back of your purchase back and product credit, so you can put that towards free product, which is what I did. It was amazing. I've got so many free products. You get a free product just by joining the Band of Beauty program.
This mascara is super black.
Yeah.
So fresh, so natural. This is something you would totally wear. If we were just to amp this up a notch, I would just add to the eyes.
Okay.
Because you already look flawless, and this is just to kind of give a little bit of an extra oomph. Maybe just for the sake of being safe, I'll put on just a touch of a powder on your cheek. This is if you're gonna add eyeshadow.
The foundation as well, which separates it from the tinted moisturizer.
Yes.
is that it has a very generous amount of hyaluronic acid, so which you know is really good for plumping the skin and smoothing the skin.
That's why your skin looks so phenomenal.
This looks
Have you tried this motto shade here?
Not
It's
yet.
an almost black. It's not quite a black, but it's a gentle.
It's like a charcoal.
I just want to see how this lays down because I haven't played
I'd
with
love to
it.
see how you use the darker colors to transition into an evening look, because that's where I always struggle. I don't
Okay,
know where on my eye or how I'm supposed to use it.
So in general, you could use these deeper tones in the same manner that we use the lighter ones, where you do an all over wash of color and then you do like a pop in the inner corner. If you're going into dark tones, either use them as a liner or use them to make a smoky eye.
Okay.
And that's probably what I'll do because you never do it.
I don't know how to do it the right way.
To execute a smoky eye, you dip into your pigment and then you let the brush do the blending and try to spread it out as much as you can so that you're not oversaturating the eye with too much product, because that's when it can make a mess.
Okay.
And you're like, well, now I have a black eye and
Okay.
I can't.
So I can typically
reverse
start
it.
here and then blend it all over the other.
Where you place the product first is where you're going to get the most
Right.
pigment. So I would usually start it in that outer V or
Makes sense.
crease area so that I can blend the rest of the pigment outside of the V's, so like towards the inner corner and up. And that will create a nicer blend than starting anywhere else, because we want the depth to be on the inner corner anyway, so why not
Right.
start the brush there? That's like literally it.
That's so simple.
I know. But
Right.
this shadow is pressed in such a nice way that it picks up on the brush and it doesn't fall out on the eye or cheek. This is a very
I love
user-friendly
that
formula.
because again, someone who doesn't do makeup very well, I'm not comfortable with it. When I do get that extra product,
Help everywhere.
yeah, just like usually it falls right under the eye. I'm always struggling on how to clean that up delicately without smudging it everywhere.
Yeah, I haven't got one speck of fallout from this particular shade, which is nice. We'll just tap this again close to the lash line just to get it extra saturated. And you can use this shade to define a lower lash line and just below the lashes. I would usually just go in like halfway maybe. And this is also where you can bring in just a touch of extra dimension and use like a deeper eyeliner color if you want. This is going to pair well with that nude lip anyways, because now the focus is all in the eyes. You look as far away from the pencil as possible, but up a little bit so I can see your bottom lash line. I'm not going to go all the way in, I'm just going to tickle. Like make the look a little bit more complete, especially when you're doing more smoky effect. I really want to try the Naked Swabs. These are reusable, sustainable Q-tips that you can use for makeup. They have, I believe this is a silicone edge to it. And you can use it for smudging purposes or cleaning up eye makeup, but it's not as wasteful.
I love that. It's so environmentally friendly.
It is.
Final glam.
Down again, let me just see that transformer on your eyelids. Ooh.
And what I love about Beautycounter is once I got into nutrition and I became a nutritionist, they were using plants, ingredients from plants that I actually understood.
I'm glad you brought Beautycounter to me today and we got to experience this together.
I'm glad you liked
Do
it.
you like your look?
I love it.
Here.
I always love when Rachel glams me up.
Ooh. Anyways, go follow Julie on Instagram and check out everything that she's doing. I'll be posting the link on how you can get your hands on some of these Beautycounter products.
Yeah, I have my personal page, but I'm going to be launching my business page shortly, so stay tuned.
Good.